All right, today's tutorial is going to be about what we're going to do is it's kind of a two-part series on the tutorial. I'm going to have you choose something technology-wise that you do on your computer that you would educate somebody about. So that could be any program that you go to. It could be if you stream music, if you download or play games, if you are using Microsoft Word or PowerPoint or designing a website, if you are editing pictures, anything really technology wise that you would teach somebody that you would use. So I'm going to give you an example here on the board and show you how to go about creating it. Now, you're going to need quite a few pictures because it's a step by step, and you have to assume that the person that you are teaching really is technologically silly. They have no knowledge whatsoever of how to use a computer, so you have to really spoon feed them. We'll do something basic. First, you have to do two things. Let's open up Microsoft Word because this is where you're going to be saving your project. And we'll minimize that. And then go to one of your explorers that you will use to find a site. Now, what I'm going to do primarily is I am going to show you how to, let's say, access my website. So, first thing I may do is say, okay, first thing you come here and you go to schools, and then you would click on high school. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look on my computer, and there is a part that says print screen on it. So I'm going to hit that button, and as soon as I hit the button to print screen, I go to Microsoft Word, I right click and I paste, and it takes a picture of where I was at on the computer. So what it's essentially doing is it's creating an image that I'm doing on the computer. Now I go back and I will go to high school. And once I go to high school, I'm going to look at teacher web pages. Now as I do that, print screen, and then once again, go to web. I'll right click, I'll paste, and it's going to have the print screen on there for teacher web pages. Give myself a little space, go back, now go to teacher web pages, and go to banks, which will be the teacher me. And then I'll print screen again real quick to show that. I'll print that in as a paste, hit enter a couple times, give myself space, and then finally go into my website. Now, what I will do is if I'm showing how to get into my website just like that, I will then kind of uh, what I will do is I will basically at this stage of the game go and set up what we would call kind of like a play-by-play. So let's say, for instance, that I'm just teaching them how to go into my website and go to, uh, let's say, my outline to see what my class is about. So I would go here, print screen, and then go right back here and show my web page. Now, after I do that, go back and we know that we can go to my outline right here. And then it'll show my page right here. So then I'll take one more print screen and then go back and paste. Now you may say, okay, well that sounds really easy. What's the catch here? Well, because you're doing a play-by-play, you have to assume every click, every web page, everything that you are doing has a purpose. And so when doing that, the first thing we have to understand is we have to describe what's going on. So I'm going to create right in here a nice little box, and I'm going to type in underneath something to the effect of uh, in order to access Mr. Banks's website, we must go to our school's webpage, which is www.stgen.k12.mo.us. Once we have accessed the page, look up top for the label schools. And then hover your mouse over it for the drop down menu. Now, this is it right here. Now, what I may want to do is, if I go to insert, I have lots of different things that I can insert. I want to look at clip art because, or shapes, and I think shapes is pretty kind of cool because what it'll do is it'll show me an arrow, and then I can basically use that arrow and start from here where I say schools web page, and when I say schools, I click there, and I draw my arrow to the schools right there. Now notice that I've just now saved it, and I can also put a big circle around there as well, or an image, if you will, or some clip art or smart art or something to that effect. And why I would do that is primarily because I'm trying to show the viewer what exactly it is they're supposed to be doing. So if I draw a circle, I may just draw a circle right here. Now, that one you can't see through, so that probably wouldn't work out for me. But there are others that you could use, you know, I don't want a picture, that you can use for that as well, as far as your drop down goes. And you can use your shapes, your lines, basic shapes and see-throughs, your arrows, things of that nature. And so I can actually show this arrow and draw it right here and leave it. And see, it shows St. John High School, and hovering my mouse, I might want to right click to make sure that that's proper grammar, which it is actually. And now I've got my first section. So I may number this number 1, so they know the order that I'm going in. Now I go to my second page. We're assuming that I clicked on it. Now, I will say, once you click on the high school, then look over to the left for a link that says teacher web pages. Click on it. Now, obviously I want the teacher web pages to be shown, so I can again put kind of like some parentheses around it to kind of highlight it. And then I want to draw again maybe another arrow. And so I'll go to my shapes, and I might do one of these arrows again, or one of these lines to an arrow, maybe 2 of them. Just kind of depends on what I want to play around with. And let's say I want to draw it right to there. Now, I can do that. And of course, I may have to, just so it'll connect, kind of hit it to where my picture will go down. And that may happen. But, you know, that's okay. Once I get it, they know where it's at. And as I save it, I'm basically designing an instructional tutorial for someone else on how to use a program, how to use something on the computer that they may not understand, that might benefit them. Now, what we're doing is this is basically a writing assignment using technology and your personal information to instruct someone else. What we want to do is make sure that these things that we are doing are properly written. Now, this is a fragment. Then I may want to put, please click on it. And that'll be a proper sentence. And then I go to the next one. What we're doing is we are writing instructional sentences that are going to explain why we're going to where we're going. So for instance, now that we're here, I would say something of, this will take you to the high school's teacher web pages. You may click on any of the current active, I better put a comma there, current active educators at St. John and visit their personal web page. Now, I've just explained what this site is. I've just explained why they're going there. And then, of course, I'm going to tell them, now, please click on Mr. Banks' web link to access his site. And then since I don't have it, I know that I've got this corner and it won't go in and connect through it, what I may do is just simply grab another shape such as the arrow itself like we did before and just throw that bad boy in there and just draw it right there to where I'm at. And that primarily just shows where it is. And so that's one way that I can manipulate these pictures, is so they can see where to click on. And then I go to the next page. So as you're creating this, you are helping other people. I want you to really think about something that you use all the time. If you like to go and access music or stream things, if you like to edit pictures, if you like to play certain games, if you like to design things, if you like to shop, if you like to, you know, access your homework or check gradebook, or I mean anything that you are utilizing and doing on the internet consistently, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to showcase this and how to get into it, and that is basically your assignment. I want a minimum of 10 pages. That's probably 2 pictures at least per page with description that goes on it. That's minimum, and I really want more than that because it'll take more than that. As you are putting your picture, it is very detrimental that you write examples and explanation to why we are here on this site or why we are doing this. The more explanation you give, the more understanding the person who is accessing and understanding this tutorial will be, and the easier it'll be for you to educate them. This kind of goes with what's called authentic learning. You already know a certain tool based on your historical background, something that you have done and utilized. Now it's your time, now it's your chance to educate your teacher, to educate possibly someone else. Because what I'm going to be doing with these is I'm going to create a site that is based on tutorials for different things. And once I create this site, your tutorial will be an accessible piece of work that I want to use on there to help other students, help other parents, help other teachers for that matter, learn how to use technology. And you guys are the cutting edge of what is going on out there. So anything that you want to do, get devious, get creative, get smart. You want to do something that's productive, though. I mean, I don't want you accessing sites that we would never use, or sites that are probably abusive or negative. I want something positive, something that you can showcase that other people might want to be involved in. And that is basically going to be our goal. That is going to be our assessment. Then once you get here and you got all this saved, all you have to do is just basically go here and save as, and then you're going to save it as a document. However, remember that when you're saving, I want you to protect your document. Protect the permissions. Anyone can copy and change part of this document. Well, not anymore, because you are going to make it a final, something that will keep them from doing it, or restrict editing, okay? Or restrict permission by people. Things that will give certain access that is yours and yours alone, so that you will be the author. You will have it modified on the date, and it'll take how many times edit, how many pages, any comments you want to add, whatever you want, that's going to be your assignment. And that's basically what you will be doing. Thank you for watching, and of course, as always, good luck.